School year starting again, social media is full of back to school photos. Local law enforcement agencies like the Dodge County Sheriff's Office is reminding the public to be vigilant. But before you jump on this trend, the Better Business Bureau is reminding you of some tips to keep in mind.
You want to really avoid sharing personal details about your child. Back to school photos, again, often involve kids holding a board or a sign of some sort, or the parent will post the information with the child's name, age. Sometimes, on those signs, it'll say their birth date, their height, and other details.
Lisa Schiller with the Better Business Bureau of Wisconsin says scammers or predators can use this information to commit identity theft or to earn your child's trust.
Even sharing the name of your child's school or the child's teacher's name, grade level, can make them a target for unscrupulous people.
Schiller also says to choose generic backgrounds for your photos.
You want to be mindful of any house numbers or street signs, any identifiable locations that might appear in the background of your photos that you're posting.
You should also check your privacy settings on social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram to see who can view your photos.
Try to keep that information as private as possible.
Lastly, Schiller adds to watch out for phony friend requests. Don't accept requests from strangers. It could be an imposter trying to access your information and friends lists. In Madison, Mackenzie Davis, WMTV 15 News.
The Wisconsin